Fever dub! Woo! Woo! Fever! Good dub. Ugly, but we found a way to win. Woo.
https://u2.b/ac5luckgoo. Here's a stat that tells the story. Just 2 days after a tough loss to the Atlanta Dream on May 20, Caitlin Clark and the Fever came back with purpose. In the May 22 rematch, they owned the paint, outscoring Atlanta 46-20 inside and holding.
Hey Steph, this question is for you. I just wanted to talk about what you saw out of your team that was different from Tuesday. Obviously it's a quick turn, but how did you feel like your adjustments paid off on the court?
I felt like our defensive energy, physicality, disruptiveness was better. We made it more difficult for them, moving the ball around the perimeter. We executed better in our ball screen defense. Felt like we had each other's back a little bit more.
The Indiana Fever squad that came up just short at home rolled into Atlanta with a point to prove, and they made it loud and clear. This fast turnaround showed their grit and growing playoff mindset. Caitlin Clark stepped up with poise and purpose, proving she's ready to lead this talented team whenever they need her. And don't go anywhere, we're about to dive into that fiery moment between Clark and a Dream player, the exchange that had fans talking all night. So, what does this win say about Clark's leadership and competitive edge? If you're feeling the momentum, drop a asterisk fired up for the Fever, asterisk in the comments.
One thing this Indiana Fever team has shown us they will do this year, it's not quit on the game. The Indiana Fever down early, come back, take the lead. Down late, come back, take the lead. The only difference between tonight's outcome and Tuesday's outcome is a letter.
Just 2 days before their big revenge win, the Fever left the court at Gainbridge Fieldhouse feeling crushed. That 91-90 loss to Atlanta wasn't just a tight game, it was a gut punch. The kind of defeat that highlights every misstep and forces a team to take a hard look at who they are.
Yes, this stinks. We want to win this game. But, I think this is great for our team. A little adversity. How are we going to respond? How are we going to come in here tomorrow morning and watch the film and learn and get on the court and get better? And like I said, that's why this league is so great. You have a couple days and then you get right back to it. You find a way to respond. We have a chance to go there and play them, actually. So it's even better, I guess. We can, get a little redemption if we go down there and play well. So.
This wasn't just another loss. It was a reality check. Atlanta came into Gainbridge Fieldhouse and took over in ways that just shouldn't happen on a home court. They controlled the paint, dominated the boards, and made the Fever look a step behind all night. Brittney Griner used her size to score 21 easy points, while Ryan Howard added 20, slicing through Indiana's defense with ease. The free throw numbers said a lot too. Atlanta went 25 for 32 at the line, while Indiana hit just 16 of 26, missing crucial shots when the pressure was on. This game didn't just sting, it sent a clear message. The Fever had work to do, and fast.
They shot 32 free throws. It's a lot of free throws. Going to be difficult to win a lot of games when we foul people that much and put them at the line that much. It's tough. They made 25 out of 32. We still went to the line 26 times, missed 10. So that's the game really right there. It obviously doesn't come down to that, but it's just the little things.
But here's what most people overlooked about that loss. It wasn't just a tough night. It was a valuable learning moment. The Fever weren't simply being outplayed. They were learning what needed to change. Coach Stephanie White was honest afterwards, saying, "I don't feel like we match up well with them," highlighting Atlanta's size, elite talent, and strength on the perimeter. But while the loss stung, White and her staff were already at work behind the scenes.
Our fight, the toughness that we showed, our ability to stay together. Our bench was really engaged in every timeout and in every huddle. We were all engaged.
Players left that locker room with a new mindset, locked in, fired up, and ready to fight back. Those 48 hours between games changed everything. That tough loss at home didn't shake the Fever, it motivated them. This wasn't just a rebound game, it was their chance to make a statement. The real question was never if they'd respond. It was how much payback they had in store for Atlanta after the way that first game ended.
Tuesday, we couldn't seal the deal. We lost it at the free throw line. Tonight, we sealed the deal. Tonight, we took the lead late in the fourth after being down 75-71 with 3 minutes left. We take the lead and we don't look back. The Indiana Fever leave the ATL with an 81-76 victory, and this game was pretty. Man, this game was pretty ugly.
Here's something that might raise concerns for Fever fans not long ago. Caitlin Clark went 0 for 5 from 3 and shot just 4 of 11 from the field. With only 11 points, it was one of her quietest games, and the first time since January 13, 2022, that she didn't hit a single three-pointer. In fact, you'd have to go back to her sophomore year at Iowa to find another game where she was shut out from deep like this. Next voice. On most teams, when the star struggles on the road, it's a recipe for a blowout. Caitlin Clark dealt with foul trouble, picking up 5 and spending key moments on the bench. But the Fever didn't fall apart. They didn't lean on one player. They rose together. This game proved they're more than...
What a win for the Indiana Fever against the Atlanta Dream. Good teams win ugly. And that was what was most impressive to me about the Fever's performance against the Dream.
The 2025 Fever have become more than anyone saw coming. Natasha Howard took charge with a standout 26-point performance, getting 12 of her 17 shots. She played with confidence, controlled the game, and set the tone from the start, showing exactly why this team is turning heads. Next voice. Howard bounced back in a big way after a rough outing against Atlanta. She dominated the second half, putting up 18 points minus 13 of them in a strong third quarter, and pulled down 7 rebounds. When the Fever needed a spark...
Getting in foul trouble early, I think, messed up her rhythm, and she didn't really have her legs, because it certainly was one of the worst performances of Clark's career from a production standpoint offensively. First time in her career she didn't hit a 3. So, nothing to write home about from Cece. But that's okay, right? Even when, that's happening, game's on the line, she's got the basketball. Manipulates the defense, gets it to AB, who puts it away.
In just 20 minutes, Cunningham made a big impact with 6 rebounds and gave the Fever an immediate lift. She knocked down her first three-pointer of the season, sparking an 11-0 run that put Indiana back in front. She also made a crucial play by drawing an offensive foul in the final seconds. Off the bench, Lexa Hull shined too, scoring 10 key points and matching her career high with 4 assists. Their strong performances wiped away any doubts about the Fever's bench. It wasn't a weakness, but a powerful force that helped secure the win.
Shout out to Natasha Howard, I will say. You didn't have a good game last game. You bounced back today. If I'm the Atlanta Dream coach, I'm going into tonight with a game plan. Folks, make Natasha Howard beat us. Don't let Caitlin Clark beat us. Don't let Kelsey Mitchell beat us. Don't let Aaliyah Boston beat us. Make Natasha Howard beat us. And Natasha Howard, she took on that challenge and she came through. Let's just think back a year ago. Who's that going to be? Katie Lou? Nope. Erica Wheeler? Nope. Nalissa Smith, you make me...
The Fever's bench outscored Atlanta's by 16 points, a huge turnaround from their last game, where the Dream's reserves had the edge. This time, Cunningham and Hull stepped up with important points and strong defense, proving how much deeper and more balanced Indiana has become. This win wasn't just a win, it was a clear sign that the Fever are now a serious threat with multiple ways to win. When Caitlin Clark had an off night, 3 other players stepped up big. The team didn't just survive without her usual fire. They thrived, showing they can win as a complete, well-rounded group.
That's why we at least go out and get somebody like a Natasha Howard that when Caitlin Clark, Kelsey, and AB aren't hitting, when Caitlin Clark, Kelsey, and AB are getting hoed with fouls, there's somebody there that's competent offensively that can keep us in the game. And Natasha Howard, you did just that. 26 points, 7 rebounds. Way to go, Natasha Howard.
Championship teams don't rely on just one star. They succeed when several players can take charge. They need depth, toughness, and role players who step up when it counts. The Fever showed all of this in a big road win against a tough team. Brittney Griner came in ready to dominate, using her 6'9" size to control the paint, just like in their first game. She was expected to be the key difference again. But Indiana fought back with grit and a balanced approach, proving they're more than one player. They're a
Sophie
full
Cunningham and Lexi Hull are the real deal. That's what it does look like. It looks like these two off the bench, you can name whoever you want. These two ladies off the bench are going to be the most impactful duo in the WNBA, hands down. Hands down, these two are going to be the most impactful duo in the WNBA off the bench. They bring the energy, they bring the heat, they're able to score, they play defense.
The bench.
Coach Stephanie White was honest about the challenge Indiana faced against Atlanta, especially dealing with the dream size advantage from players like Brittney Griner and Brianna Jones. She emphasized that the Fever would have to lean on their depth and versatility to overcome it. In the rematch, Indiana used an unusual but effective defensive tactic. Whenever Griner had the ball, multiple Fever players quickly closed in from all directions. This unpredictable defense threw off Atlanta's offense, confusing their players and breaking their rhythm. That smart, chaotic approach was a big reason why the game turned in Indiana's favor.
We were up 3 points in the last minute. Stephanie White puts Sophie and Lexi and they say, press. In the last minute, Stephanie White says, Sophie, Lexi, press. Don't make it easy on them. Don't let them get into their offense. We got to hassle them. We got to haggle them. We got to get on them. We need to force them to make decisions before they want to. And Sophie and Lexi did just that. Those two